Hi guys, my name is Srdjan and I'm the CEO of Kriptomat, and today I will be showing you how you can create your own non-fungible tokens or fungible ones, or essentially any kind of token that's based on the Enjin cloud platform. And so some people use this technology to create gaming items. Some people use it to create certificates, collectibles. They can be used for so many different things, like access tokens, licenses, collectibles, tickets, not just as gaming items. Because there's so much focus. I see people saying, yeah, this is just like a gaming technology, but it's not. The purpose of these tokens is there's so many different cases and use cases that not all of them have even been discovered. But like anything from gift certificates, coupons, vouchers, membership cards, authenticity tokens, certificates, reward points, license. I mean, there's so many different things that you can use them for. And the purpose of this video today is I will be showing you how you can create these tokens on your own, and I will go through the whole process so you will understand everything. It took me quite a while at the beginning to understand all these things because there was quite a learning curve to it, a high learning curve. But once you get the things, once you understand these things, it becomes so clear and becomes so powerful, when you start thinking about all the options that, this technology offers. So let's get right into it, and let's set up the environment first so you can see my browser and you can also see my wallet. And so the first thing is what you need to do is you need to go to kovan.cloud.enjin.io, and essentially you need to open an account. Once you open that account, then you need to go to mintapp.kriptomat.io, and you need to whitelist your email. So you tell us your email and we will whitelist your email and we'll give you access to the platform so you can use it as well. So once you're on this login form, just use your username and password and you will log in. Please note that there's two different platforms that you can log into. You can log into the testnet, which is commonly referred to as Kovan, or the production if you have those credentials. So let me just click login, and now that I've logged in, I can see a list of all the games that I've already created, or apps, as Enjin refers to them in the documentation, but I just like to call it games. And as you can see, I have different things here, like Dragon Riders, I have the Potions game, like Rare Digital Art Collection, like all this stuff. And well, what I want to do right now, I want to create a new game. So I will click on the link create a new game and I will give it a name, and I will call it the Dragons game, because dragons are epic. This is a story. Ah man, this is a story that needs to be told. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving a name to this game and I'm giving it a description. This is not necessarily something that you will be doing, because once you have a game or once you have a collection, you just use that. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I just wanted to, this is a story that needs to be told. Okay, so I will upload an image. Obviously, because it's a dragons game, I will use a dragon image. I've prepared this. On my right hand side, I can see how this is approximately going to look, and I can see the image, I can see the the name and the description. I will click create game, and once I click this, what happens is a request is made to the Enjin cloud, and essentially they create a game. It's kind of a centralized thing. It's not sent to the blockchain. So that's why it also happened so quickly. I'm gonna go now back to my games, and I can see that this game has been created. Yeah! So I will click on this game, and the first thing I see here is the platform says wallet not linked. To start working on your game, you first need to link your wallet. So why do I need to link my wallet? Many of you know, but for those of you that don't, to create non-fungible or fungible tokens on Enjin, essentially you need to back them with Enjin. So you need to give some Enjin which you use to create those items, and someone needs to pay for that. So that's why you're linking your wallet so that the system will know which wallet it needs to charge for creating and minting the items. So I'll just go ahead and click the link your wallet button, and the next thing you need to do is just need to go to App Store or Google Play and download the wallet. Once you have that wallet, to make it a development wallet, you need to go to settings, and I'm showing this right now on my wallet. Go to settings and scroll down completely to where you see the version number of the app, and tap that number 10 times. And once you do that, you're gonna see a dev mode option right here. All right, so what's next? Obviously I want to link this app, I want to link this game or an app, to my wallet, and I will click link app. It's asking me if I want to link it on Kovan or on my main wallet. I will choose Kovan, which is the testnet, and I will enter this code, and it says F91B. So these codes are unique, so on your wallet it's going to be a different code, and if like for every game, for every player, for everyone, it's always a different code. And I will just tap link app. Again, I'm choosing Kovan, and as you can see, the wallet says please wait. So it's doing something, it's sending it's actually linking this wallet, and the wallet has been successfully linked, and I can now refresh this button, and when I refresh it, I can see my that the wallet has been linked, and I have my Ethereum address right here, and I'm gonna copy it. And because I'm working on the testnet, I have these assets. If you see in my wallet, they are called KETH and KENJ. Essentially, that's Kovan Ethereum and Kovan Enjin. And how do you get those in your wallet? Really easy. You go to the following URL, faucet.enjin.io or kovan.faucet.enjin.io, and you just paste your address here. I did that before, and you can do a request every 24 hours. And so what this did is actually I'm gonna get some testing Ethereum and some testing Enjin to my wallet. Maybe I already got it. Yeah, I think I did, because I used to have less. So I have now more KENJ to play with. Why do I need both? Why do I also need Ethereum? Well, you need Enjin to back the items, but you need Ethereum essentially to pay for storing the information to the blockchain. Every time you wanna store something in the blockchain, you need to pay some gas. That's why you need Ethereum. So now let's forget the boring stuff. Let's go to creating our first item now that we've already linked the wallet. As you can see, I have no items, and I want to create my first item, and I'm gonna say create new item, and I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm creating a volcano nest, because it's a dragons game. Dragons need volcanoes, or I mean they need nests, and volcano seems kind of a suitable place for them. And what's next? I have a selection here, fungible or non-fungible. So the difference between fungible and non-fungible tokens is that fungible tokens, they're all the same, meaning that if, for example, if I'm in a game, I'm playing a game, I get one gem, I can and I get another gem. All these gems, they're the same. So in a similar fashion, like let's say $1 is, let's say, has the same value as the other dollar. Whereas with non-fungible tokens, they're unique, and they also have a unique reference ID. So this means that you can reference them individually. And so an example in a game would be, I have a sword, and I'm playing the game for a couple of months now, and I'm already a high level. So my sword is also level, I don't know, level 10, level 9, whatever it is. And a new player who starts playing the game, his sword would be level 1. So with this ability to reference each individual token, this gives me the ability to say, yeah, your sword is level 10 and your sword is level 1. So that's what's so great about these, non-fungible tokens. Another thing here is the supply model. You can choose how many of these items are going to exist in the universe, and different supply models affect your economy, so you need to think about that. For example, a fixed supply model will always have a fixed supply of items in the economy, right? If you put settable, this means that you can set this number. If you put infinite, this means that there's actually no end number to these items. You can create as many as you like. Then we have collapsing, and then I will explain this in a bit. And then annual value and percentage. I'm not sure about these. I haven't used them so far, but you can create an item like this. So I will choose collapsing supply model, and this actually means that why is it collapsing? Because each time a token owner melts an item, there is one less item in the universe. What does this melt thing mean? I will skip the initial reserve for now, and I will go straight to the melt value. So as we said, each token needs to be backed by a certain Enjin value. And if a player chooses to do so, he can actually mint and get this melt value, into his wallet. But you as a creator, you can decide how much or how many percent of that amount you want to get back. So I guess you could also, the maximum you can put here is 50. So it means that, let's say I'm creating a volcano nest and I'm backing it with one Enjin. And so if you as a player decide to melt this item, I would be getting 0.5 Enjin for each melt for as many items that I've created. I will not do the such a high melt fee, because then I feel it's like you don't own the item. I mean, it's up to you how you set this, but each of these properties, you need to consider how to best apply them depending on your specific case. So now let's get back to the total supply and the initial reserve. So in case, let's say, of fixed, I'll be creating a non-fungible token, but let's say my supply is fixed and I decide to do 100, and the initial reserve in this case is actually for how many of these items am I willing to pay, how many of these items am I willing to back with Enjin today. I don't need to back them with Enjin today. I can back only 10 items. I can just pay for 10 items. And as you can see on your right hand side with the cost preview, because I put the initial reserve 10 and because melt value is, or Enjin backing is 1, then the total cost would be 10 KENJ or 10 Enj. So why would I choose to do this? Maybe the cost of Enjin is high. Maybe I want to do it on the fly. So each time a player wins an item, I want to create an item then and I want to pay at that time. I don't want to prepay this. I don't want to have these items in stock. So an initial reserve is kind of a stock that you own and have. If you feel that you're gonna, use that stock real soon, then it makes sense to have a bigger initial reserve. So I will choose let's say it's a fixed supply, and I'm gonna do just like this. I'm gonna create 100, and initial reserve is gonna be 10, so I'm gonna be paying for 10. What's next? Then I have this transferable. So you can decide if an item can be moved from an address to an address. So when wouldn't you want this to happen? So in case of licenses or tickets or certificates or things like that, maybe it's not certificates, but let's say tickets, or but even certificates, they're assigned to a specific person, right? So, and that person has that specific address. So you wouldn't want that person to send the token to someone else, because that other person would then be certified, although he's not. So in such a case, you would be using bound. Me personally, I like to use the temporary option because it allows me to change my mind, later on. And I can then I can bind it to an address and so on. I can also whitelist some addresses and so on, but this is beyond the scope of this demonstration. What's next? It's actually one of the coolest things that many people don't know even exists, but it's the transfer fee. So each time I trade my item with you, I need to pay a transfer fee, the one that I set here. So and also there's some options to set here as well. I can choose whether this fee needs to be paid per transfer or per each item that you have in that transfer. So for example, you might be having 10 swords, so am I paying one time am I paying one transfer fee to send all those 10 swords, or am I paying 10 times the amount? If that were the case, then I would put per crypto item, but I don't want to put it like that. I will just put per transfer because again, I choose so. I will put the transfer fee, let's say 5 Enjin, and you're going to be, whoa, I mean, but this is higher than the melt value itself. Yeah, because the value of, so this means it's really important to know that once you set the transfer fee, you can never make it higher, you can only reduce it. So the transfer fee once created can never be increased. And that's why I rather, put higher transfer fees and then just reduce them and have this buffer to later change my mind if I like. So what's next? I need to create this new item blueprint, and let me explain this a little bit. When you're creating items in Enjin, it's kind of a, when you're creating, it's kind of creating a template or a mold. So now we're creating this, or a blueprint as it says here. So now we're creating this blueprint out of which we're gonna be, forging or minting new items, yeah? So, yeah, you can think of it like a template. So let me click create new item blueprint. And so what this is doing is, this is actually sending a request to my wallet to confirm the creation of this. Where do I see this? I go to my wallet and I go to notifications. And as you can see, there's a request to create 100 volcano nests in the Dragons game. I will tap create and I will also tap confirm create. Now, this request has been broadcasted to the blockchain, which I can also see from the request logs, and this request is now pending. This is the create request, it's pending. If I refresh this page, I guess see that's been, okay, it's already been executed, and I can also see this transaction on Etherscan, on covan.etherscan.io, and if this were the production environment, I would see this on Enjin X Explorer, which is really, really great. You can see the underlying data behind this transaction. So what's next? Yeah, I'm now going back to my items, and this item has been confirmed and also created, but you can see there's no image. So let me set this image. So in the Enjin terminology, they call it a blueprint, they call it an URI, also it's called metadata, and I want to add an image, and so I will click the edit blueprint URI. Maybe we should put a more user-friendly name here, but anyways, so I can create a fantasy name for this, so it can also be different from the name that we created with the blueprint, because the name that we used on the blueprint is actually a name that we can reference also programmatically. So in that case, I could have just named it game item 1, game item 2, game item 3, if that makes it easier for me to manage my stock and whatnot. In this case, I will call it a volcano nest. It's super hot. This volcano is let's call it like this, is a perfect breeding ground for dragons, especially for the red dragons. It it gives them that extra spicy attitude. Okay, so I can add some properties to this item as well. So what do I mean by properties? I mean, I can say rarity, and I'm gonna say epic, because or legendary. You can add as many properties as you like depending on your case. I will upload an image. I will choose an image. I have a volcano nest here. And I have a bit of a preview here as well. And the next thing I need to do is update the item blueprint URI. This is how it's going to look like. Again, I need to go to my wallet and I should see a request coming in. And it's actually coming in. And it says set item URI, a volcano nest. I need to tap confirm. I need to tap confirm set URI. And this is actually it. Once this request is confirmed, which I can see from here, it's still pending. Once this request is confirmed, it's been broadcasted to the blockchain. Confirm, 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 confirm. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, writing things to the blockchain sometimes takes some time, you know, but at least you know it's there and it's, you know, exactly what it's been written to it, and no one can modify it or change it and whatever. So I'm going back to my item, and if all is good, and I know it is, I will see the image right now. Woo. So what do we do right now? We just created this template. We didn't send an item to any address just yet, but we will right now. I will click on mint items. And I have an option here to add recipients. So if you remember previously, I pasted my address, and I will just, you know, put my address as many. I want to get 3 volcano nests, or maybe I just want to get 1 volcano nest. And I will just input a wrong address here, and I will click add addresses. So these are the addresses to which I plan to mint this volcano nest. So the system obviously recognizes that this is an invalid address. This one is also invalid. This one is valid. And so I'm gonna, if I wanna create more of these, I will just, you know, put an address here. So I will now get 2 volcano nests. So essentially that's it. The only thing I need to do is I need to mint the item. And when I do this, again, the wallet is going to ask me, hey, do you want to confirm this mint request? So, or in other words, can you please pay? And I'm going to say mint, and I'm going to say confirm mint, bam. And so what this is now doing, it's actually creating this item, and it's putting it on the address that I said it should put it. This will take some time to happen, possibly a couple of minutes. I can see that the mint has been executed, and I should see this in my collectibles once they appear here. But before that happens, you know, it usually takes some time. There's also some caching involved. Let me show you a couple of things, all right? The first thing that you can do here is as we said, you know, you can mint the items, you can, you know, edit the blueprint URI, but you can also edit the blueprint itself, but not all properties of the blueprint, just some of them. So one of the properties that can be changed is the name of the blueprint. This is the one that, you know, you reference, or the transfer fee. You can actually reduce this transfer fee, but as we said, you cannot increase it. Another cool thing here is that you can view minted items, so you can see where these items were minted to. And that's kind of great because it gives you, a log of these things. Another thing that I like is if I go back to my game, I can also add players. When do I want to add players? I want to add players not essentially as players of my game. How I find it useful is to add new administrators, and or this way I can give access to this platform to my team members and so on. So I can create new administrators who can then manage these items and so on. So in that sense, I like the ability to create players. And it's easy as that, you know. So I could now create new items. This item is already created, and once I have these items, then I can just mint them to users' wallets. Let's see if anything has happened here in my wallet. Yeah, I can see the balances changed. As I said, you know, this takes possibly some time, but this is the process. And I can view this transaction also on Etherscan. I can see how many confirmation it has. In some cases, it can be up 30 confirmations for me to see this in the wallet. You know, I really don't know. But it's the blockchain thing, you know, and it takes some time for all these things to, you know, to propagate and to appear where they need to appear. And guys, this is essentially it. Thank you for your attention. And if you want to mint your own items, what you can do is pre-register or leave your email or fill out a form on our landing page. Go to mint.kriptomat.io. We're going to be giving out beta accounts first to early adopters, then to developers, and later on also to you guys, so anyone, you know, can actually mint their own items. And this is great. So let me just wait for this item to appear here, and I will let you know when it does. Okay, guys. Now I've refreshed my wallet, and I can see the Dragon's Game, and I have two items. So let me click on the Dragon's Game. I can see the image, I can see the title and the description. I can see there's two items in here, and let's click these items. I can see the item, volcano nests. A volcano nest, it's super hot, it's a perfect breeding ground for dragons and whatnot. The rarity, I can also see my custom property that I've added, it's legendary. So this is it. Now, I mean, this is the easiest process to create non-fungible tokens I've actually ever seen. So feel free to use our platform. Tell us, contact us on Telegram, just fill out the form on the website if you're on the website, or go to mint.kriptomat.io, and you know, we'll help you out. And I think these you know, crypto collectible items are just going to explode. I wish you a good day, and if you have any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them. And like that, wish you a good day. Bye.